Today on Age of Empires Mobile, I'm going to be doing my very first hero formation guide. You've been asking for these, and I've broke it down nicely. So you're going to go through the free-to-play lineups and then the spender lineups. The way I've got this down is I'm going to show you a nice infograph so you can understand the formations and the basic premise of those marches. And then I'm going to go down and break down the heroes and skills and my current talent tree that I am running. So with all of that said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like the format, put a comment down below and let me know, obviously, on any improvements. So with all that said, let's dive into warrior archers for free-to-play players. Josephine, King Derek, and Attila will be our free-to-play warrior archer lineup. You can unlock Josephine through the Battlefield Survivor and the Legendary Tavern, so you can actually get this really easily through free-to-play options. King Derek is through the Giants Raw event, which does only appear once at the beginning of your season, so don't ignore this because you will require this hero to be 5-star to get the maximum out of him. And then Attila is actually earned through the Legendary Advent Wheel. So this is only the one hero out of the entire lineup that you're going to be needing Empire coins to be spending on. And the cool thing with Attila is very versatile and he's going to be used in a variety of different lineups depending on what your choice is of units later down the road. For our ring choices, we will be picking very stable and flexible rings. So the first ring I'm going to be using is the Ring of Deer. That's actually going to be equipped on Attila. We've got Ring of the Bear equipped on Derek and the Ring of the Night Wolf on Josephine. These rings honestly just allow free-to-play players to have maximum choices in future investments when they come to their marches, because these are some of the best epic rings that you can honestly equip to a variety of marches. And just for an example, the Ring of Deer is a very flexible artifact which honestly gives you a tempo swing, obviously in combat. So just to showcase that right now. Just to note, obviously this free-to-play lineup is a bare minimal one, so I wouldn't fully recommend it. Honestly, this versatility or accessibility is a 10 out of 10, so anyone is going to be able to get this really easily. But if you are aiming for how competitive this match is, I'd honestly only give it around a 5 out of 10. It is really easily outclassed, and I would only use this free-to-play lineup as a stepping stone for better commanders, which we're going to discuss on this later on in Season 2. So now let's talk about the skill interaction of this lineup and explain how it actually works and why you need to pick specific skills, right? So Josephine, straight away, her signature skill isn't anything kind of crazy. It's just some nice burst single target damage, and it's going to recover some of your troops. This is obviously the current percentages that I have it at leveled, and if you kind of restrict that just so you understand the basic level, after launching a normal attack, you're going to deal might damage to the enemy troop and recover your units. This is a 25% chance of triggering, so 1 in 4 attacks is most likely going to have this effect online, right? With this, her other 2 skills that you do get equipped with is going to be Sunder as well as Infuriation. And the cool thing with Josephine, as well as we're going to talk about King Derek, you can actually allow yourself to have a super cheap lineup without doing too much to your Josephine. So the first upgrade when it comes to your skills is actually getting rid of the Infuriation for the build. What I would honestly go for is a double attack. This is going to allow you to enter a double attack state and increase your hero's might, strategy, and armor bonus by 4 points. Honestly, this is going to be really powerful. And the reason this is going to be really powerful is when we look at our last hero in the lineup, which is your Attila. Because Attila is allowing you to also enter the double attack state and increase your commander's might by 50. With the only legendary skill, if you want to choose to upgrade, I would go for then your weak spot attack. With this combination and Josephine, you've got 2 heroes entering basically double attack states and actually dealing a nice amount of damage through those attacks. On top of this, now with our Attila, without upgrading the other skill, you keep Armor Piercer, which is super free to play friendly, because again, after launching a normal attack, you're going to be dealing some enemy damage troops, or damage to enemy troops, and reducing all enemy heroes armor by 41. This is actually key because it means now your Attila is playing more of a damage role support and actually empowering your Josephine to do more damage, and obviously your King Derek to do more damage. And with this is now the final synergy of this build. Because we didn't go for the other upgrade, you can keep Sunder on the build if you choose to. This is going to allow you to inflict rout onto the March, and the cool thing is because she is afflicting rout, you have the chance for King Derek's skill to do more, right? If the target is already in a rout state, which we hopefully can do through Josephine, we increase their might damage taken by a bonus amount. So at the moment, this is 6.5%. Do believe it goes all the way up to about 20% in total. So it is kind of crazy how much damage output you could put. And on top of this, you can keep Sunder for yourself. So this actually self triggers for you, as well as your Josephine. So you got a nice little bit of hero synergy there. And the only skill you could honestly take to be a little bit more of a supportive role is Righteous Judgment. This is entering the charge state after 3 seconds, deals might damage to the enemy troop, and reduces all enemies' heroes' might and strategy by 38 points. It obviously increases the more you level this skill. Why do you take this skill? Well, this is the one supportive skill again for this match that actually can put a tempo swing into your favor. And as well with this build of actually just having one legendary unlock on your King Derek, as well as one legendary unlock on your Attila, it actually keeps that burden of Empire coins away from you, right? And then if you choose to go for a Attila double attack march, you can then change and upgrade this later down the line. You can actually go to your more skills and go down the active mercy route if you choose to, but the best in slot 2 choices is either Warrior's Hymn, depending on the build you're going to be running with certain heroes, or Critical Insight, right? You can always go for weak spot attack again, really good one just for straight up damage, and that's why we always have it in, right? But always these two are the ones that you're always going to probably put in that second slot when it comes to your Attila upgrade. And then for King Derek can actually be used as an infantry hero, and we will talk about this in a future guide, but as a little tip and trick here, you're going to be able to obviously upgrade the Sunder ability if you keep the Sunder equipped on your Josephine, and it allows you to actually put Earth Crush, and this is actually inflicting a rout effect and dealing more damage every second. So it's a better version of the Sunder, right? So you can just choose to have that on the build. When it comes to your Josephine, what you would do to actually circumvent and actually empower this to do the most damage is get rid of the Sunder and actually upgrade to weak spot attack. That would mean you'd have 2 heroes with weak spot attack and double attack with the King Derek doing his own kind of route thing in the back. So that is all the different skills I've talked about there straight away, the bare minimal, which is on screen. And then I've gone over the upgrades and different skill potentials you can be equipping as you progress in Age of Empires Mobile. When it comes to the talent trees, my main hero I've been using, as you can see, 115 out of 115, he's 5 levels away from max, which is the Attila. This is the current page I am running, and the best way of explaining these talent pages, and I will kind of leave it on screen as I'm discussing this, is the fact that I really do opt into having either one hero in the lineup fully based on defense. So if I can actually get a lot more points into taking stuff like armor, I'd be doing so. Like armor again, I'd be doing so, right? Anytime I can take less damage, so increase the troop defense, reduce the damage taken. All of this is what I'm trying to take on Attila because he's already dealing enough damage in the game, right? So here, inform the ranks, when you get down to the bottom, I'm actually taking the troop health bonus. This is probably the most important stat in the game. And anytime you can increase your health or defense, at least on Attila, I have been going down that route. Some people might not agree with that, but the way I have been building these hero talent pages is one of the heroes, so my Attila, is going to be all defense based on the talent page. The other 2 heroes, so my King Derek and my Josephine, those talent pages are actually going to be a lot more offensive based. They're going to actually deal more damage and sacrifice the defense because Attila's already kind of bringing it to the match. And we kind of want him surviving as well so he can keep buffing our other heroes, right? You can see I haven't really gone down this march, but we will be showcasing later on a Mulan build, and my Mulan tree is the exact same tree that I would recommend running on this Josephine, right? So that's pretty much it. And when it comes to the King Derek page, you'll see it at the moment. I am running this page. It's a little bit of a mix. It's kind of good for gathering as well as Openfield. I just personally would not recommend using King Derek for a long time. You will use him in the early days, but as soon as you can get rid of him, get rid of him, because honestly, there's going to be better heroes in this slot for archers. Just being straight up, right? So that is honestly straight away talking about now all of the heroes' skills, talent pages, and kind of a more deeper breakdown on the free-to-play lineups. Now let's go and talk about the spenders archers. So when it comes to your spenders, warrior, archers, there's going to be two lineups that you can be running to take advantage of different scenarios in PvP, which I'm going to go over. So the very first one is going to be Mulan, Attila, and Rani de Gavate. You obtain Mulan through, obviously, the Spenders store. You're going to have to purchase the one bundle and keep buying it all the way through until you get to the 92.99 and still purchase at least, I think, 3 to 4 of those in order to 5-star that Mulan if you choose to. My recommendation, honestly, is just a 3-star Mulan. She does the job and honestly does an insane amount of damage at 3 stars. So you don't have to go overboard if you choose not to. When it comes to Attila, we all know Attila is through the legendary advent, and I would recommend him getting at least 2 3-stars again. You need 3-star Attila because this is going to give you a massive jump in power, which we're going to discuss deeper in a moment. Rani de Gavate, unfortunately, you're going to have to choose either through the seasonal pass or obviously in daily bundles. So again, this is one hero you have to spend to obtain. So this is why it is a low spender or medium spender build and a little bit harder to obtain than most free-to-play marches. However, it does an absurd amount of damage. When it comes to the ring choices, the rings on screen is going to be Radiant Guardian, Lofty Mountain, and Ring of the Nightwolf. Radiant Guardian for your Mulan is the best in slot choice, but if you need to choose a different ring, because this does cost 4,000 coins, it is 100% understandable, and you can use rings like the Ring of the Nightwolf, Ring of the Bear. These are really good epic, substitutes until you earn your best in slot ring, which I would recommend over time to go for once you've got maybe some rings unlocked on your account. Attila is going to be Lofty Mountain. This is a no changer, no brainer. I would always put this on him. It's allowing you to reduce the amount of damage you take, and it's giving you an armor bonus. When you go to his talent tree, you'll see this is going to synergize really, really well with his kit. And you honestly want your Attila to survive the longest because he is going to allow you to honestly make sure you have the most amount of buffs on both of your heroes. As soon as your Attila is down, you'll notice your damage output will be lost. And if he's lost, everything's lost. So you really need to be watching that. Rani de Gavate, this is going to be a Ring of the Nightwolf, just a really good epic ring that you could be using for damage purposes. However, you can use this ring elsewhere for different cavalry, different infantry, and different archer marchers, depending what you want to use in your lineups. If you do want to change Ring of the Nightwolf and equip it to your Mulan, for example, alternate ring choices for Rani is going to be your Ring of Deer or the Ring of Bear. Both rings are really good and flexible choices for your march. Now, let's discuss the next hero lineup and the second one, which is going to be, no surprise, Mulan, Josephine, and Attila. What this march does really, really well compared to the other march, which was obviously Josephine, Attila, and Rani, is this does exceptionally good in garrison and rally combat. So if you're going to be defending those flags or you're attacking flags and you want to send a archer march in that rally, I would recommend more on the lines of this, because when you have a Josephine in lineup instead of the Rani, you will sacrifice damage output and that support ability to your Mulan. But what you get is obviously guaranteed combat, because obviously how rallies work, it's always going to happen until it gets cancelled. But with the Josephine alone, she's going to give you protracted battle, which recovers units after every 6 normal attacks, which is so powerful when her signature skill alone also gives you recovery when launching normal attacks, right? So you're getting this recovery rate from your Josephine, which is allowing you to have more troops in the battle, which again is allowing you to deal more damage over a longer period with the weak spot attack combo of all 3 heroes, and then your Attila using Act of Mercy and the critical strike from his signature on all of these commanders. So that's why it's super good, why it's a bump up from the free-to-play lineup, and why this one is really good in rallies compared to Garrison, compared to open field combat, right? So if you want open field combat, go for the Rani build. If you want to go for Rally and Garrison, go for the Josephine build. That is my advice when it comes to basically warrior archers in open field PvP. So now with that, let's discuss how the skills truly work so you guys understand this match properly and even build 2 talent pages for you guys live. So now let's discuss how Mulan does an absurd amount of damage in this build. So Mulan's ability, as we all should know by now, is after launching a normal attack, it is going to deal some might damage and has a 50% chance to become 3 instances of might damage. All that is basically explaining to you guys is when you launch a normal attack, you have a chance to deal some damage, which could technically be triple the damage that you should be putting out 50% of the time, which is kind of insane when it lands off. When we look at the other 2 heroes now in the lineup, which is going to be our Attila as well as our Rani, their skills is all about empowering our Mulan to make sure when she does go burr, she absolutely melts people. So his signature skill says there is a 32% chance, which increases to a 35% chance, I believe, for all your heroes to enter a double attack state and increase your commander's might by 50. This means Attila is going to give Mulan a double attack state and 50 might. He's also given himself it and the Rani. So he is the king of support when it comes to basically damage and the double attack state combat system. Now, when we look at our Rani, her signature skill state, there is a 23% chance, which will scale to a 25% chance, of the next hero to enter the double attack state and increase the might by 39, which will increase even further again to 40, even obviously limiting there, right? So this is really important because depending on where you place your Rani, she's going to either, upgrade your Mulan or your Attila, and some people might want to do that. Some people might want to upgrade their Attila to deal more damage because of just reasons, and that's okay. If you want to do that, you go and do that. However, from what I have experienced and from what I have heard and just been talking to other archer mains, the best way to have this formation set up because of those 3 signature skills is a Mulan primary, Attila secondary, Rani basically in the 3rd slot. This means Mulan is going to deal all the damage. The Attila is going to be as fast as possible online to increase all of your heroes' damage output. And then when it hits to Rani, she is going to empower then your Mulan straight away. So she's never going to be downtiming. She's always going to be cooking and slaying. And that is why you want to put the Rani in that 3rd slot. So now we understand how the signature skills work and the reasoning behind both of the lineups. What we're going to do is explain the more skills section for the one I recommend, which is going to be Mulan, Attila, and Rani. So what is the skill setup for these commanders? What we're going to do is go through the different spending levels of you guys, because if you're a low spender, it's obviously going to differ to a medium or higher spender in the game. So if you're a low spender, the one I would recommend straight away when it comes to Mulan, Attila, and Rani, you're going to unlock weak spot attack only and actually just run Infuriation on your Mulan. When it comes to Attila, it's going to be the same, weak spot attack and Infuriation. And then coming to Rani, you're going to keep Armor Piercer and run King's Blade. This is actually going to be my final build for Rani, and I wouldn't recommend going for a second legendary skill unless you're a super spender aiming to unlock Warrior's Hymn. This is the only legendary skill that you are going to put in to that secondary slot. Why? This is going to allow you again to further buff your Mulan when it comes to your Rani's turn. You gotta remember, Rani is already giving you a double attack state and a might bonus for the Mulan, and now with your Warrior's Hymn, you're going to increase the critical strike rate by 4% and give you even more might on top. So that is the only reason why, if you are going to unlock a second legendary skill, you would do Warrior's Hymn on Rani. Otherwise, you would keep Armor Piercer, and if you are keeping Armor Piercer as an epic skill, have this 5-star or 4-star, max it out, because when you do this, this is an insane buff. As you can see, this is decreasing the enemy's hero armor by 41, and this is a really good debuff with all of the already damage and actually minor buffs that we're already getting as a low spender. Now, if you're a bit of a medium spender, you are going to change this build up. And the first thing that I would recommend if you are a medium spender is actually upgrading your Attila the Hun. The second skill you should unlock on Attila the Hun is going to be Critical Insight. This is going to allow you, when you have this equipped, give you and all of your other heroes, so Rani and your Mulan, critical strike rate by 9.5%. Obviously, this is going to increase them more. And when you deal a critical strike, you're actually going to reduce the enemy's armor even further by 13 points. And this is obviously stacking up to 3 times. So this is already a 39 points worth of armor strip. You can imagine at 3 stacks at max level, this is over 40 armor, I believe, again, being stripped. This is just 60 armor, should I say, being stripped. It's just crazy. It's crazy how much armor you can strip with just this one skill, dealing damage with the weak spot attack now and empowering all of the other heroes. When it comes to your next investment, you are going to invest into the Mulan. So you come up to your Mulan and get rid of finally the Infuriation, and what I would recommend is Active Mercy. This, no matter what build you are running, is going to be the most safest choice, because this deals an insane amount of damage and increases your Mulan's damage output when she goes against people with lower troops. So if they're at 75% or 60% health on the open field, because they've been fighting someone else and then you're joining in later, you're going to kill them so quick and have an insane trade advantage because of Act of Mercy. If you plan on using Mulan in rallies and garrisons, I would say double attack is really powerful. Having this double attack with the Josephine build allows you to have more sustainability because of that protected battle that we kind of explained in that earlier section. So when it comes to your Mulan build will just look like this. It will have weak spot attack and Active Mercy, and boom, you are now basically finished as a big medium spender basically in this game. If you're a Kraken and you want to finish things off, you can go to upgrade Rani one last time. She would be the last hero that I would recommend upgrading and getting that last legendary skill, and this is going to be going into, as you can probably guess it, Warrior's Hymn. Warrior's Hymn is a fantastic skill because, again, works really well with Rani's signature skill, which is the next hero in combat enters the double attack state and gains might. Well, Warrior's Hymn is now giving that next hero even more might and even critical strike rate now. So we've given them double attack and critical strike all from this one hero. It's not as good as Attila, because obviously Attila is everyone, but when it comes to empowering Mulan and doing as much damage with the Mulan and supporting her the best we can, Rani is a really good option for that, because she is a mini Attila, but only obviously to the next hero, right? So that is how you would upgrade all of your legendary skills from purples to legendary now as a spender, and the order I would do it if it was me, right? Once you've done that and you've got your kind of heroes set up, obviously you will start working towards your gear and your rings as I've discussed. But let's talk about the talent page and we can finish up today's video before talking about season 2 and some honorable mentioning stuff. So the build I have got, I'm missing 2 points because obviously I'm not 120, but I will discuss where I will put those last 2 points. So the first thing you need to remember when building a talent tree, level 50 is super, super important. Level 50 is going to give you your strength in numbers, is where your military speciality is going to increase. So when it comes to your very first top tree, I always will recommend going down this line. This one all the way around and actually putting 2 points into your hero damage. If you are leveling up in Age of Empires Mobile, you can happily put points into field battle XP to level up your heroes quicker, and then once they're maxed out, you just reset the coin for 50, as you can see, and just go ham. So you're not scared to reset talent trees in Age of Empires Mobile. Now we're going into Intrepid Warrior, and the way I build my actual Mulan is more damage based than any other trees. So we're going to go down and increase the hero's damage first. We're going to go and get increased damage skills again by 2%. Here we can read, and this is increasing the damage of our normal attacks, which we really want. Up at the top here, increases the damage of hero skills by 1.5%. We really want this too. So we're going to increase all of our normal attack damage even further. So you can see we're already now increasing the might and just going flat out on the damage. And by doing so, and we've got all this damage and using the top tree, we've unlocked strength in numbers. So with the strength in numbers here is a really simple tree, and it's kind of hard to work back on yourself, but you are going to reduce your damage taken for the first time here, and then you're going to increase your damage dealt by 1.2% then on the next one. When it comes to your extra points here, I would put them into your hero's armor as well as into your hero's might, so you're doing as much damage as possible. Now we're going to have to come back up to the top, unfortunately, because with that, you'll see to get Crushing Blow unlocked, we're missing 3 points. So we need to put 3 points into our tree. So with those 3 points, what we're going to do is actually go down this defensive tree. We're going to reduce the damage taken by 0.4%. And depending on what you're going against, you could reduce the damage taken from skills, right? Or you can reduce the damage taken by normal attacks. Both of these are actually really good. I would say these are situational on what you are against. For argument's sake, I am actually going to reduce the damage taken by normal attacks because I'm scared of basically like cavalry and stuff like that. So let's just get rid of all of those and other Mulan players. And by doing so now, we have Crushing Blow unlocked. So we hit the Crushing Blow, come into the next area, and this is where things do get really good for us. We can reduce damage taken again, get the reduced damage taken again by normal attacks, and now we get reduced damage taken by 0.4%. We come over here and reduce, oh, I don't say that. We increase our hero might by 3. There we go. And then increase our armor by 3, which reduces the damage taken. There we go. I nearly messed up there and went off script, but we've got it back. We've got it back. So coming to War Hardened now, you'll see I need 2 more points again, unfortunately, to unlock it. So what we're going to do is come back up to the top section. And what we can do is either put 1 point into this armor, which wouldn't be too bad, right? Allowing us to put that armor. Or you can even do stuff like this. When gathering troops are defeated, reduce their gravely wounded. It's not too bad if you're choosing to use your Mulan in the open field and gathering, but I don't do that. I kind of use my gatherers to gatherer, and I use my war marchers to war march. So what I'm going to do is actually put my 2 points over here. So you'll see I've got 1 point in, and it's still not unlocked. And as soon as I put that second point in, boom, it's unlocked, right? So we can now go and get War Hardened. With War Hardened, what we will take, which is the best point in the game, is troop health bonus. Whenever you can get troop health, guys, try and get it. It is very lucrative, but it will give you a sheer advantage when it comes into your game. Troop attack bonus is going to be our next attack, and then we're going to get troop defense bonus by 1.5%, which is really cool. Increase our troops damage now by 1%. This is going to go to 2% because of solo battles. You can come down here and reduce, increase the troops damage in rally battles too, if you choose to. This will be a very damage oriented build. However, if we're going for open field exclusively, you can actually reduce the solo damage taken reduction. So if we go 1 and go 2, that feels great. Hit the armor, boom, and we've got Bulwark unlocked. If you want to, you can remove the armor and choose to have might. That is up to you again if you want to do so. But now you only have 5 points remaining. Remember that 5 points remaining now because I'm only missing 2. So with this, we'll put our 1 point into here, and we've got 4 points remaining. And depending on how you want to do this, I would put obviously either 2 points into your bonuses here, 2 points into this bonus here, right? It's up to you which one you're going to go down. I'm going to go down the attack bonus, so I'm going to have 2 points in this attack bonus. And with my next 2 points, I'm actually going to put 1 point in this hero armor, and then I will go back up and put it in this hero's might. So I've got every kind of stat base point available, and that will give you all of 50 points for your Mulan now, right? So that is your talent tree for Mulan. Going for Attila, he's pretty much the exact same, but what we're going to do is go for a defensive route. So instead, what I'm going to show you is a defensive tree instead of an offensive tree. We're still going to double up and complete the exact same top section, but when it comes to Intrepid Warrior, we are going to go down reducing the damage taken. We are also going to reduce damage taken by 2% here. Boom, boom. We're going to go up to the top and reduce damage taken again. Boom, boom. On here, we're going to reduce damage taken by skills, which is really nice, and going to our armor. This is obviously really good. It's going to help us along the way, and then reduce our normal attacks, and that's going to unlock strength in numbers. Strength in numbers is unlocked. Grab our armor. We're going to go across now, grab our might, which we've been waiting for, and then go into our reduced damage taken again, so we don't take as much damage as possible, right? We don't take any of that damage. Now we'll go into commander's damage, and you'll notice in crushing blow, we're missing those 3 points again. So you can guess it this time. Instead of what we did with Mulan, we're going to do it with Attila, right? So we're going to put 1 point over here, which is really good. And then we're actually going to increase our commander's skill damage by 0.75%, because if we need to, we're going to go down and increase our normal attack damage by 1.5% if we have to, right, in later down the tree. So we're going to go and put our 2 points into here. This is going to give us crushing blow. Really good. Boom. Unlock crushing blow. Get our reduced damage taken again. So we keep reducing all the damage we can take, guys. As much damage reduction as we can take. We're going to grab the armor. We're going to come up here, reduce damage taken again by 0.4%. Really good. Coming over to the left side here, we can increase our hero's might. We will do that. Coming increase. We don't care about attacking tribes. We don't care about any of this other stuff now, right? Because this is all to do with PvE. So we're going to come back up into our top side, and now we can hit the increased normal attack damage, and we're in Keening Wind. Perfect. So now carry on as we did before. Boom, bap, pow. This is just increasing our defense, increase our defense even further, increase our defense even further. So as you can imagine, when it comes to my Attila tree, joking aside now, my Attila tree is designed to be a lot more defensive, right? It really wants to be a defensive-based tree compared to my Mulan that's running a more offensive-based tree, right? So when it comes down to this end product, you do unfortunately have to, you know, come down into, whoops, I pressed the wrong one. You do have to unfortunately come back down into hitting increased troop damage in solo world battles. It is what it is, you know, but once we get into the form of the ranks, what I would do here, so you have again 4 points remaining, 3 points. Every point needs to go into troops health bonus, put it into your increase your hero's armor, and if you got 1 point remaining, it is going to be in hero's might. But these are going to be your two main ending goals that you're going to be doing for your talent tree. And you can see there, as you'll notice, it is pretty much similar to my Mulan page, but the difference is it's more tankier compared to damage orientated. When it comes to Rani's, I won't do that full thing for you guys, I won't bore you, but just to showcase, I have gone down more of the damage route when it comes to our build for Rani. I think when it comes to formations, having one commander with a defensive talent tree and two with more offensive talent trees does give you more better trades and allows you to do more work in the open field. Just make sure the defensive talent tree is on the hero that is doing the most supportive work, because if they die, or if, you know, they ain't doing as much work as you expect them to do, then it's going to be a sad time, right? So that's why I would make sure these talent trees are on the way I put them. It's up to you if you want to change them. That is your choice, but that is going to be the build. That is all of the talent tree skills we've gone through now on our warrior archers. I know it's been a long video. I want to say thank you so far for all of you guys that have watched this video, and if you've got a comment down below on any tips and tricks on making this video better formatted, let me know in the future. When it comes to archers, what we're going to do is just kind of showcase on screen from Age of Empires Mobile, like online through Google, Bellevue. So Bellevue is a seasonal 2 hero that you're going to get access to once you've completed your Imperial City and you've played this game a little bit further on. Probably a few weeks later on, you will get this through your legendary adamant wheel. Bellevue is really, really good, and this is where for free-to-play players, you're going to get a massive increase. So this is where you as a free-to-play player is actually going to get rid of your King Derek, you're going to actually get rid of Josephine as well in your lineups, and just run Bellevue instead. So if you're a low spender, it would be Mulan, Bellevue with Attila, or Rani, depending on what you want to run. And that's a really powerhouse damage heavy comp. Or you can run for pure free-to-play friendly, more of a, Josephine, Bellevue, or Bellevue, Josephine, and Attila combo, right? Because Bellevue is almost like a mini Mulan that you can be running. So that is Season 2 to give you guys a little bit of a get ready for, because I know you guys want that. I know I haven't got any information to kind of showcase properly now on screen. I do apologize for that, but when we get to Bellevue, I will do a full hero guide on her and give you updated warrior archer stuff. But for that, that is today's video, and I want to say I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Obviously, I've gone through the free-to-play players lineup. Obviously, I explained how the synergies work with those, the rings, your talent pages. I've gone the same route on, obviously, the spenders. I do apologize that spenders get 2 lineups and the free-to-players get 1, but it is what it is when it comes to Age of Empires Mobile. But if you've enjoyed this whole guide and you think this was really good and you want it better, maybe if it's more condensed so it's not as time-consuming, let me know, and I will happily do that in the next guides. But I wanted to make my very first Age of Empires Mobile formation guide for you guys. So with that, smash like, comment, and subscribe. It's been me, MrSneakyy, with Warrior Archers on Age of Empires Mobile. Until the next one, stay safe, stay sneaky, peace out.